Never imagined I'd learn how to raise less anxious children from an experiment with rats.
I was trying to understand how early life mattered to later life behavior. And there was a paper claiming that if human beings took rat pups and handled them and played with them in their hands and then put them back in their cages, they would be less anxious when they grew up.
That's Dr. Daniel Weinberger, founder of the Lieber Institute for Brain Development at Johns Hopkins University. He spent over 50 years researching the human brain and the genetics of mental health.
And I remember reading this thing, and I thought to myself, there is no way the evolution of rodents depended on being handled by human beings to be less anxious as adults. And I thought there was something profoundly wrong with that paper. I didn't know what it was, but this didn't seem to make evolutionary sense to me.
Basically, he's saying you'd expect that a baby rat taken from its mother and handled by some alien creature should be more anxious, not less, right?
You would think.
But what it turned out was, when the pups were put back in the cages with their mothers after being handled by humans, the mothers frantically licked them and licked them and licked them to remove the scent of human beings, 10 times as much as the other babies that weren't manhandled.
This led to a series of studies where graduate students literally counted how many times the mother licked its pups, and what they learned was
that the more times mothers licked their pups within the first few days of life, the less anxious those pups were for the rest of their lives. This was a very clear demonstration that something about an overly nurturing, reassuring, security-related environment led to a trajectory of brain development that was less likely to show anxiety as an adult rat.
But here's where it gets crazier. People started saying this may not be true because rats come in different breeds, just like dogs. So maybe some are just more or less anxious than others.
So they took the rats that were very anxious genetically, and they put them with mothers that did a lot more licking and grooming than the mother rats that they came from. And guess what?
They grew up to be less anxious.
Wow.
And then they took a breed of rats that were very mellow, where they were not anxious as adults, and they put them in with mothers that didn't do a lot of licking and grooming.
They grew up to be more anxious. This is brain development. Brain development is about the genes you inherit and about the environment you experience. And this is about how nurturing, support, I don't want to use the word, but it is love, prime a human brain with a different set point of how to cope.
Welcome back to The Rose Window for the third of 6 conversations covering the human brain and mental health. Our goal is to give you the knowledge and tools to heal, grow, and form more healthy connections. Today's conversation is all about maternal health and early childhood development. Once again, we'll be guided by Dr. Daniel Weinberger, a neuroscientist, professor, and researcher that's authored 11 books, published over 700 papers, and built the world's largest repository of brains, donated by next of kin, to help uncover the many mysteries behind how humans do everything we do. And today we'll also be joined by a special guest who happens to be my wife and also a real-life all-star mother, Lisa Tucker Cummins.
Thanks for having me. And thanks for what is an amazing conversation on everything from supporting moms during pregnancy and beyond to understanding how neuroscientists think about what it means to set up children for success.
You want to do the honors?
Sure. Welcome to The Rose Window.